We've been on back roads all day long, so this is definitely a good change of pace for us. Heading down the mountain on this highway, hitting some cool speeds, outstanding views. Loving it. Can you imagine riding this every single day, surrounded by these mountains? Day two's almost in the books. We got about an hour left, and we're riding down Interstate 93 right now. It's about to end here in a little bit. We've been on back roads all day long. We've covered almost 200 miles today, and we've had 10 riders to start with, and now we have 9, and then we're going to pick up a couple tomorrow, and then a couple more the next day. But today has been outstanding. I mean, the weather was, you can't ask for anything better. It started out in the 80s, but midday it got a little hot for a couple hours. I think we got up to like the mid 90s, but now it's cooled off again. Now we're kind of lower 80s, hardly any humidity. Can't complain at all. So we are heading back to the lodge, which we are based in Lincoln, New Hampshire, which is a ski town. Reminds me of a lot of towns in Colorado. You know, everybody is really cool. Now, I will tell you, Lincoln's kind of a touristy town, but overall, the people have been very, very nice. And the people that on this trip, and a lot of them I already know. There's a couple new ones that I haven't met yet, or excuse me, I met for the first time yesterday. Everybody's just cool as hell. I mean, Pat Orvis and I, I'll go over the people in a minute. I know there's this damn Subaru in front of me. Everybody has Subarus out here. Subaru freaking happy. But there's 3 riders in front of the Subaru, and Orvis is one of them. And him and I are the only ones that have been here all 3 years. We had a couple others, but some extenuating circumstances prevented them from coming up to this trip. So hopefully we can do another mini meetup this year in October to catch up a couple of the southern guys, because that's a long haul. You know, that's a long haul coming from North Carolina. We had one, which I'll go over in a second, or 3 people that did it, but I left from Maryland, so I'm lucky because I'm like right in the middle. I mean, like if it takes me 11, 12 hours to get to Tennessee and the Smoky Mountains, and it takes about 12, 13 hours to get up here. So I'm like perfectly situated for me to go back and forth. But, you know, it's a 20-hour ride or more or less, depending on how you ride from North Carolina. So the people on this trip, the one that's leading right now, that is Doug, and he's actually from Georgia, but he didn't ride all the way up here. He got a really good deal on a rental, so he actually rented an Indian for a week. And the next to him is Happy Jack. And let's see if I can put my head around there. You see him right there, right before that truck, the big semi that's holding everybody up. And he lives out here. He actually lives in Massachusetts, and behind him is Orvis. He's a Connecticut boy, and kind of a family affair. And this is a neat story. The folks behind me, Scott and Dianne, and they bought this year a 2018 Honda Goldwing DCT. So I guess they wanted to test it out, and they rode all the way up here from North Carolina. But what's cool is they brought their son, and their son rode up with them. So I mean, they live far apart in North Carolina, but I think that's cool as hell that they had a family affair and the 3 of them can share this experience with each other. And it's a Honda family, so they have the Goldwing, and then his son has a Shadow behind me. We also have Patrick, who lives in Massachusetts, and he's riding with us on a Harley. And then we have Doug, and Doug went last year, and he has another Goldwing. So Honda is representing on this trip so far. It's about half Honda, 1 Indian, and then the rest Harleys. And tomorrow we're going to meet up a couple more guys. You might know them, Ride Country, and hopefully Freedom Rider. And then a couple more coming down from Canada to the Lake Placid area. But last night we got to know all these guys, and you know, over margaritas at the New Hampshire Mexican joint. Great people. It's the best way to describe it. I mean, it's just like we sat around, talked about the camaraderie, about motorcycles, and what brought us all together. Not just YouTube, but like watching YouTube and commenting and getting to know people. And I've met some of my greatest friends on 2 wheels through YouTube. And each year I hope to meet more and more. So I totally enjoy doing this. And then just for the sake of these views, I mean, if you look straight ahead, way in the distance, you see those mountains. And you can't beat this. I mean, on this highway we're riding on Interstate 93, which is in New Hampshire, hardly any cars on it whatsoever. You go to 495 in DC, forget about it. You're bumper to bumper traffic. Here, hardly any roads. Now, as I say that, we're in a little traffic jam, but that's because there's a big semi up front that's holding us up. But for the last 20 miles, it's been smooth sailing. we're heading back to the lodge now to kind of wrap up the day. And we put about, I'd say, 200 to 225 miles today on the bikes. And we've got plans to do a bunch of different routes for the next couple days. Enjoy the New Hampshire, Vermont area. If you've never rode out here, it's definitely worth it coming out here, even if it's just for a weekend. Make it up here. The scenery is just, there's no way to describe it. There's too many superlatives to describe. There's not enough superlatives to kind of describe the way it looks. North Woodstock, North Lincoln, so that's where we're heading. 2 miles to our exit. They're going to be taking some back roads to get to the Kakamaka, I don't even know what the hell it's called, Kangaroo Lodge. I'll eventually get it pronounced right before the end of this trip. All right, guys, it's been real. I'm going to share some more videos with you guys of my experiences. Thanks for watching. Be well, and I'll talk to you soon as I ride down this freaking highway. Yeah.